which city is your favorite one, architecture-wise?
I like Cluj a lot.
I was going to say as well.
When I told them that I am also an architect, a guy architect said, and you have the stamp? I said, yeah, I have the stamp.
Salute and welcome to the Romaniac Show, episode 13.
Yes, we have a special lovely guest with us here. We have Cristina Stroe, who is an architect and an interior designer. Welcome to the show.
I'm excited that you invited me because I was a fan before.
No way, really?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I don't know if I was subscribed. I can admit, I don't know. But I used to watch your videos that you were interviewing on the street.
Mm-hmm.
People.
Yeah.
You also appear in my feed, like YouTube.
Yeah, we
all
just
the time.
just came up.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
that's good. That's
Nice,
good to
nice.
hear. Yeah, it's lovely to have you
Anyway,
here.
I really appreciate. I told you before when we met.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate what you are doing. I mean, I would do it, but it's more credible from your part, I think. So.
From an
Yeah.
outsider coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works. I think also it works better in other countries as well when people from the outside are coming because it is a more pure view because we also try to be honest, especially recently.
But have you ever done some bad reviews about Romania? I want to
Yes.
see like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always see like good stuff. The last video that you did for the how many languages Romanians speak. I mean, we were watching last night, me and my boyfriend. And my boyfriend was like, "Oh, I'm proud of Romanians."
Yeah. It's really everyone who we asked is in there. Like rarely when there is the audio when like I don't know the ambulance drove by. These people, but the rest is just pure how it is. And there are definitely some videos that we have where we are a bit more critical.
People don't like the fact that we liked Sibiu. That's one
we didn't like.
that we didn't like Sibiu.
That you didn't like it.
Yeah, and we said it in we did last year a road trip, so we traveled whole of Romania. No, not whole, center and the west.
I saw that you were on Transfăgărășan or something.
Yes, Transalpina,
Center and
Cluj. No, west.
West.
This year's
Yeah.
season. Salina Turda, we had been.
Nice.
Yeah, Brașov, we had been during the year. Timișoara, where else?
Timișoara, Oradea, Sighișoara, Deva, Hunedoara.
Yeah,
all of those
also I
places.
feel like you are now I'm gonna give you some advice unsolicited.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
But why don't you do some videos around I don't know, a little bit more out of the center, because I see that you are filming a lot in Calea Victoriei or like the nice places where everybody goes, and they look really nice, and architecture is nice, streets are nicer, people are maybe taking their Sunday clothes
best.
and going on the street. But I mean, you can show also
The rest, yeah. I
Yeah.
think mainly it is because we need people to interview, because we can tell when it's weekday doesn't work because no one is around, just as a other example.
Yeah, actually,
we
you
need-
are right. 'Cause
Yeah,
in some parts, people are not on the street.
yes. And we have to
so-
ask 5 people to get one person to answer. And then even in the more Romanian areas, the problem will be that people are even more uncomfortable that 2 foreigners are filming.
Yeah.
And but we are definitely planning on also going more on the countryside, also to more traditional living people. That's in the plans.
We can do it here, though. We can go to Rahova,
Yeah, you especially.
Why? I mean, I saw some foreigners that they are like filming through bad neighborhoods
Yeah.
of Bucharest. So,
Yeah, but we don't know how
but
dangerous it is.
they were like friendly with him.
Yeah. Maybe that's something. I mean, there are so many ideas and stuff that we can do.
Yeah.
We'll bring you along with us. As well.
You show us around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very successful in those parts.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
But anyway, I when I was younger, since we are talking about like the parts that are at the end of the city, and people are really, usually they are scared about Rahova because they say there are a lot of minorities there.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was younger, because I'm a bit more darker skinned than Romanians in general, they used to tell me that I am a gypsy. I was bullied in school, actually. I left the class when I was like in the 5th grade because all the class was telling me that were shouting, gypsy, gypsy.
No
yeah,
way.
and I left the school crying.
No way.
Yeah. So this is it's been for me, I mean, also in libraries, I was just looking for a book at some point, and the girl that was selling there, she asked me, so are you looking or are you buying? So she was a bit afraid that I was going to steal maybe, I don't know, because it's this image that, I don't know, people from this community are a bit dangerous or
Like
unfriendly or I don't know, stealing, doing stuff like that. But I mean, if I was, I would be very proud of it. I'm not, but I don't feel like it's a problem. So that's why I say
that was that would have been my next
just
question.
go to Rahova, and if you want, I can tag along. Maybe they will say I'm the same as
you're part of the crew.
Because that would be my next question. That for you maybe, how you then maybe feel about this gypsy community that is in Romania, because we are a bit shocked sometimes that the Romanians, they really just straight out the bed say like, we don't want them here. They are like,
I don't feel like that. I mean, and I know people that are gypsies, and maybe they have someone in the family or not fully. I don't know. I know people, and they are just like us. I mean, we party with them. We go to lunch with them. I don't feel like I'm angry sometimes because I see people being racist towards them. There were what comes to mind is once when I left airplane. There were people around me, and we just rushed to an elevator, and the elevator just closed the door in front of a person that looked like it was maybe more darker skin like me. And the guy that managed to get into the elevator told me, so good that he didn't went with us. You cannot get away from these people. It was it's making me angry. I mean, I don't feel comfortable around people that think like that. Actually, because I was bullied myself.
Yes,
and
of course.
They thought of me being gypsy. And I mean, if I was, I would be very proud if I was, because I feel they have a very rich heritage and a rich culture. So, I mean, I don't see them in any way. And I feel like any educated person would feel the same. They don't feel threatened by them. I don't know. Because I feel dangerous people are dangerous people, whether they come from this minority or not.
Yeah. I think the same. That's what I tried to state before. It's a bit weird, but I think, of course, there are definitely, we can't put away that there are always groups, but due to the problems that they were put in, or in the situation that they're in, there are some problems coming with it. But it doesn't mean that you can just be racist or just say, okay, that's how it is. And
from what I read about gypsies in Romania, this community in Romania, I feel like they are like staying together and being this tight community, and their culture is very different from normal Romanians, because they were kind of put
suppressed
next to the wall. Actually, they were slaves in the 1700s. I don't know exactly when they were enslaved.
Yeah.
So, but I know that you are from the UK, and I know that UK has a big problem with Romanians that are Romas in the UK.
Yes.
And actually, in the UK, I heard that many people think that Romanians are like gypsies. They see it as the same.
No,
Yes, a lot of people think that the Roma community is exactly what Romanians are.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah. But for you guys, it's not even as crazy, isn't it? Because you have a lot of workers, normal Romanians.
Yeah, I think back in the day it was much worse. 2010, 2005. Those times was a lot worse because they were the ones picking pockets and doing all those kind of crimes.
If they had less opportunities here, actually, that is what happens in, I don't know, Italy. A lot of Romanians went abroad in Italy, and they went abroad in the UK. But all the people that left Romania were the people that weren't doing so good here. So they didn't have the same opportunities. They didn't have the same maybe they didn't have education. Maybe they were like socially unaccepted, like this community with the Roma people, and people like were living in the north part of the country, which was very neglected by the government and was not very trade oriented, or I don't know, industry was low there. And also Italians, I heard they say Romanians are like poor, they will do anything for some money. And
yeah, it's the same in Germany. It's even worse. Like for you guys, not so much, because in the UK you have like you guys said, every chef in a restaurant is Romanian.
Yeah.
And I also got to know now that I speak Romanian, when I go to restaurants abroad, they're often like Romanians. But in Germany, it's for sure like everyone, and including me before, 100% like these are the Romanians, the gypsies.
You thought that Roma people, it's the same with...
Yes, because you're not educated on it.
But in the UK, I know that there are a lot of gypsy communities, right?
Not so much as before. I think things have changed a lot since I was very young. So I think for like 50% of people know that Romanians aren't just the Roma people, but there are some people who don't know of Romanians generally, and then
I had a few years ago. I'm talking a lot about my boyfriends. I used to have a boyfriend.
Off camera before we started, she was going off.
Past and present. So I had an Italian boyfriend, and he was like, or his friends or relatives were very amazed that I'm an architect, that I'm a woman architect, that I'm doing so well financially, that I don't know, I don't ask for money from guys, stuff like that. And actually I was quite like, at some point I was so offended by him, because we were at a wedding here, and a guy at the wedding hit on me, and he was like, but this Romanian guy hit on you, he's less than me just because he's Romanian. I was like, what are you talking about? So I feel like Italians, maybe it's just his opinion, or maybe it's a widespread opinion in Italy, but he felt like he's just more than a Romanian just because he is Italian.
Yeah, I think that is a general problem that the Romanians are like
facing.
Yeah, people don't know the truth. That's also, I mean, I was not thinking like they are stupid or something, never. Yeah, but I just thought they look different, they are different kind of people. When I came here, I was shocked. And we also see in the time we are living here how much these people are not even like the same as in the Western European countries, but in some points even better, for sure. Yeah, like I
mean, we're all people. And we just have a different culture.
Yeah.
Of course, I can see stuff that I don't agree with here in Romania, and stuff that I don't agree in Western culture. We were talking about it earlier before. That I feel like here people are a bit more warm, a bit more towards family, and they are a bit more friendly, and they have this sense of community more. Anyway, I didn't live abroad, but this is what is my feeling just by talking to people that were living abroad, or just by interacting with people from other countries that they come and move here. Also, I feel like they are not very open. People from abroad, they like use this politeness all the time.
It's not real. It's not real.
They smile and they nod, and then they do the opposite on which you agreed.
It's the thing, you know, when it's always you see the truth. It's one thing that you can say when you move house. Then you see who's really a friend, and that's something my dad told me when I told him when I came to study here, and I said like, yeah, look, the people here are so different. And he said when he was young, like when he was studying, it was with all the friends, but in the end they just come to drink beer, but that's about it. And we
that's life. You cannot expect a friend to be like your mom and dad. It's not gonna be forever, or you cannot count on a friend 100%. And
I think you have to.
Each of us, and maybe you are different. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But I feel like you don't ever have to rely like you rely on your mom and dad, and nobody can be so selfish, because each of us, we have some problems of our own, and we are self-absorbed, and we cannot really pay attention to what is happening. Also, I mean, we are very busy. We live a busy life all the time. Maybe you, since you are still students, is very different now because you have more time. But when you start a family, when you have a business, it's very hard to be so attentive to a friend's needs. You have to take care, first of all, of your family and your mom and dad. And
yeah, of course, that's something different if the people have something else. But mainly, what I could see is that the people I was friends with, they also were not properly in their life. They also didn't have kids and stuff yet. And there, I can tell here it's different. We had last week in the podcast Marius Kopil, the tennis player, and he said the same. He was living in Florida. He was living in Germany, and he said what he didn't like is when you talk to someone and you find friends, you know, and then you're happy about it. Everyone knows that you meet someone, you're like, oh, this person is so cool. And then you're like, let's meet up. And the person's like, yeah, okay, in 2 weeks, we can maybe meet for like 2 hours. That's it. And he said, here, it's so different. You say like, yeah, come on. And that was exactly with him the same, you know. We had such a nice podcast. We talked after that, had a great conversation. And he asked us if we need some help with some doctors to get to know to work. And we were just, yeah, why not? Directly. 2 days later, he sent me a message, look here, I can help you with something. And that is something that is definitely different in Romania. Also with the people we bring on the podcast. I
am so happy to hear about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like we are going towards a Western society as well, because I can see I'm already 37 years old, so I can see... Yeah, I'm 37. Yeah, I know. I look very young.
You do. Yeah. We're not pulling your leg, but you do.
Yeah, I know, but it's Botox and stuff, you know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I use that stuff.
Mm-hmm. But if you didn't have the Botox, I'm sure you wouldn't be just like, oh.
Yeah, you guys always say, oh, I want a natural girl and no makeup and stuff. But then when you see a girl that it's a little bit retouched, you're like, nice.
Well, the eyes don't lie.
I mean, you have to take it as it is. Yeah. Anyway, what I told my mom and dad, if God left Botox and stuff like that on this earth...
Yeah, he just left it in between the trees.
Take it. Because they always tell me, don't do that. You don't need that. Yeah, sure.
That's a funny one. Yeah. To harp back on something that you said earlier, you said that back when you were like 5, you were getting... No,
in the 5th grade, yeah.
Yeah, you were getting maybe teased because you you looked like you were Gypsy, and people
Yeah.
were wondering.
A
And
lot.
also, you said that your ex-boyfriend's family were really surprised that you were an architect.
Yeah.
How was that for you at a young age, being a female who wanted to be an architect?
I mean,
Was it easy?
my parents and mom and dad, like close family, they encouraged me to do. I mean, they told me to be a lawyer, architect, whatever I want. So they really encouraged me to be on my own and to do whatever I like. I don't feel. I never felt like my life, it's not my life. I never did something for anybody, just for myself. Every decision in my life was for myself, and I didn't feel any pressure to be something else. But I mean, when I started working, just taking projects, I felt sometimes maybe at the beginning, because I was a bit more unsure of myself maybe, or I don't know, a bit younger. But I felt like when I was going on site, talking to workers on site that are usually men, maybe sometimes with clients, I felt that I was a bit, I don't know, questioned, at least.
Even as an architect.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it a male-dominated sphere?
yeah, it's a lot of of men in this field. Maybe less in interior design, more in architecture. But I got questions like a few years ago. I remember, like I was, it's pretty funny. I was on a trip with a lot of architects. We were visiting abroad. I don't know. Ceramic tile factory. And we were a lot of architects, and in the evening we went all together to have dinner, and we were like, I don't know, 15, 20 architects, men and women as well. But they started like, so what are you? You are an interior architect? Are you an architect? What are you doing mostly? Like, are you doing buildings? Are you doing interiors? And when it was my turn and I said I'm also an architect and also do interior design, because most of the girls did interior design. And when I told them that I am also an architect, a guy architect said, and you have the stamp? They said, yeah, I have the stamp. So
They thought it was something that you did.
But that means in Romania,
unorthodox.
because I in Germany it's definitely women-dominated architecture. Yeah, that's why I was so.
I mean,
yeah.
even my boyfriend, he's also an architect, and he used to work for big companies all over Europe, and he had big projects like this opera in Shenzhen. This, I mean, big buildings and working for big names in architecture. He's telling me, like, whenever have you seen a woman that is like competing for this kind of architecture?
Yeah.
It was only one, Zaha Hadid. It was UK based, London based. She died a few years ago, but she was doing like very out of the box buildings. If you know that parametric organic architecture that looks very, I don't know, like curvy and organic.
You mean in general, not a certain building, just in
in general.
Okay. Yeah.
She did a lot of, I don't know, a lot of buildings. I don't remember to name one now. But they used to say that she's actually a hermaphrodite. I don't know if is that's the name.
Because no woman
could break into this field if she doesn't.
Yeah, actually, it's true. Every architect that is crazy,
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How did it come about in general? Your idea of architecture, especially here in Romania. I want to mention this. I mean, I hope you don't feel
when I
offended.
started, I really wanted to, because I also can recognize that I have a problem since childhood, because my dad wanted me to be a boy, but I wasn't.
Okay.
And I think all my life I wanted to prove that I can be as good as a guy.
Yeah.
And maybe I will not be, I don't know, stopped just because I'm a girl. So at the beginning, when I was doing classes, and when I started also my small office, I wanted to do mostly architecture. But the thing is that it turned out I have more interior design projects, just because I feel like the projects are done a bit more quickly, because you have to implement it when the building is already risen up, and it's like you have the walls and everything. And also with the permits, it's a lot of time wasted. We have a problem with the permits. Even today, it's like even though the law says they are obliged to give you a response in 30 days, sometimes it takes like 6 months, 1 year to receive this permit. So it's something that you can see done with your eyes, and you can be paid more quickly by doing interior design, where you don't need permits. Maybe you need, but it's also
it's
a bit quickly. So it turns out that, I don't know, I had to do it, but I love it. I mean, I really like what I do. But at the beginning, I have to say that I wanted to do more architecture and less interior.
And so you went to architecture. You did a university course in architecture, right?
Yeah, we have a university for 6 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. So we and the doctors.
Yeah.
Well, it's a joke that we used to have at the university, that us architects, unlike doctors, we cannot bury our mistakes.
Oh gosh, that's morbid. But that is true, though.
Look, what's happening? What happened in Turkey with the earthquakes, and I feel it's also.
Was that a structural thing? Was that a
Mostly yes.
Really?
Mostly yes.
I don't know what happened there. So
You don't follow the news?
I know that there was an earthquake, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was an earthquake, but
all the buildings crashed.
A lot of buildings crashed, even though they were like new buildings.
Okay.
But some of them, most of them, they didn't obey structural normatives, or
they were not properly also calculated, I guess, then.
No, but I heard like cases in which owner just demolished a pillar in the middle of the building, just because he needed to have an open space to have a supermarket or a store, and that pillar was bothering him.
Very important.
Yeah, it's very, very important. But I saw people here. I remember at the beginning when I started doing projects. I remember that a client of mine asked me to come and help him with the interior. And when I got there, I said, "Do you have the permit or the project?" Because the building was already up. So I said, "No, I don't have." I don't have a permit. It was like 10 years ago or something, 15 years ago. I don't know. And he said, but I copied from my godfather. He has the same building, so I know it's good. And I just made one change. I don't have this pillar in the middle.
They think it's just in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
It's
Like
just
it
there
doesn't-
because it's nice.
But it doesn't actually.
Yeah, but for that you really have to. I'm sorry, but this person is stupid.
Yes.
Like, come on, like you don't need to be super.
I don't know
intelligent.
if you can understand Romanian. You can watch some. We always laugh. You can watch some videos about this character Artur from Cetura. It's called. It's a guy that after his grandma died, he had this house that was built by probably grandparents, and he wanted to do a disco inside, and he just demolished all the walls, and maybe in that period of time there were no pillars and all the structure was on the walls, inside walls. So when he demolished the inside walls, the house started to just tilt like this. And he was like making jokes. Someone was interviewing him and he was like, the roof is on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But he was laughing about it. So it was a
Comedy.
I mean, this is the reality sometimes that people don't really understand, and they don't understand the need for permits, and they don't understand the need for walls. They just want to demolish stuff without, I don't know, consulting maybe a structural engineer or an architect, and they just do it themselves.
Do you guys also do that yourself? Because I know in Germany the calculation is mainly done by the how do you say that? We have the guys who do the design and we have the guys who calculate.
You mean the structural engineer? I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that also in Holland or something like that. I heard that you are training to be an architect and you can also have a degree for structural engineer. But here in Romania, no, you don't have any quality ability to calculate all this stuff, so you have to always collaborate with the structural engineer. So that's why also architects have the need to stamp projects for permits. If you do interior design and if you just break some walls down or just move installation like sanitary or electrical and stuff, it's by law you are required to have some permit because you might affect the whole building.
Yeah, also with the
with modifying some of this stuff, but not everyone does it. So a lot of people just do alteration by themselves, and they don't even consult maybe.
What I want to know is, let's say I was coming to you, Cristina, and I wanted to erect a huge building. What would I come to you for? What does your job as an architect entail?
In the first phase, we call it like concept, let's say. It's first you need to tell me what are your needs. You have to tell me how many people you are in your family, how many rooms. I mean, all these details that we need to put like a brief, let's say. So we need to put on paper at first to see how many square meters would you need for a living room. Because if you are 5 people, maybe you would need a bigger living room. If you are 3 people, smaller. Or I don't know, maybe you want to have an office in your... I mean, all these kind of details you need to tell me and to describe as much as possible how your life goes by, and to see what are the dimensions of the rooms, and you can at least have some sort of calculation of square meters to see how big of a building you need, to do some sketches about the partition of the rooms, and at first we are gonna also need to see what is the site, because the site can also impact the shape of the house. I mean, you have to take in consideration the mayor's office requirements, because they different areas. Let's say in Bucharest, you have different requirements. How tall the building? What are the maximum requirements about the perimeter of your building? Because some streets need to be in some streets you can be right on the edge of your site. In some streets you have to have a distance from the street. I don't know, it depends on the area, and also with the height, with the neighbors, of course, because you
can't just build them.
Yeah, because you don't have to be closer than, I don't know, 2-3 meters. It depends if they have windows or not on so there are many details to take into consideration. So we are going to start with this concept, let's say, and then of course, because usually clients come first with this, they show me pictures what they want.
Pinterest.
Yeah. But
I've seen this. That's really cool.
Yeah, but then the pictures don't match with what their site looks like. Also, the site is very important to see what is the orientation of the north or south.
Is there
because
a rule? Sorry for interrupting. Is there a rule in Bucharest in general what you build? Because I know in parts where I was living in Germany, you were only allowed to design.
Yeah, there are rules about areas. It depends on the area you are in Bucharest, and it says something like mixed program, like housing and commercial. Some of them they really ask you to have like ground floor commercial. They really ask you, it's the requirement. Some of them, they don't let you have some commercial. I don't know, they won't let you to have a nightclub in
but I think it makes sense.
Some parts.
Because I mean, some streets, let's say rich people would just come and basically buy the buildings, Calea Victoria, and just put apartments down there. It's not cool because all the nice restaurants would be gone.
Yeah. I think that that part is required to have
for sure,
to have commercial at the ground floor.
I think on some main roads as well. Bristol's main road.
Because otherwise it dies out. The area dies out. I mean,
and there are some parts that they don't allow having commercial, like in a residential building, to have
people park.
I don't know, a medical office or something like that. They don't agree with. They tell you that. But I was saying that also it's very important, because people forget about this. It's very important to see where is the north and the south, because you have to watch out where it's going to be more sunny.
Yeah.
And you're going to have like the living room area or maybe the bedrooms to have more sun, and keep the kitchen or the bathrooms in the north where you don't have so much sun and you don't need it. And people usually, like clients come and they draw something and just they forgot about this detail.
Yeah. And then you would, how much does actual, designing come into play of the building? Do you have full control of that?
You have a lot of control in the design, but of course you have to consider the
demands of the clients.
Yeah, because they are gonna live there, And usually, I mean, when you are gonna...
But not just for houses as well, like any type of buildings.
Yeah,
like, do people always come up to you with like concepts like, look, I want it to look exactly like this? Or is it oftentimes...
they come with different images for like inspiration. You don't need to take it exactly like that. I mean, so I have already, I don't know, 15 years working already. So I used to work since I was at the university. So I have a bit of experience, and I can tell that by the time that I was more experienced, clients have more, they are more trusty with your designs, and they follow your lead more. So I think this Pinterest lookalike, it's a bit more for the beginners. So when they come, me as an interior designer or architect, if a client comes with some images, it's very good for me because I can understand more their style, and I can understand what they want more easily, because they usually have this description like, I want a modern house. What's that? It's very vague for me. So if they come with an image, it's better for me to understand their style and their aesthetics. So it's not a problem if they come with Pinterest images. Of course, you can guide them, and you have to adapt that design or that style towards their needs and on their site and stuff like that. But when they just tell you, I want when I was doing projects at the beginning, there were some clients were like, I want luxury. What's that?
like a Shark Tank.
Yeah.
No, but how are Romanian clients in general? I mean, you only know the Romanian clients, isn't it?
Do you work only in
Romania? I know I worked abroad as well, but I was based here, and also I did some projects for foreigners that live here in Romania, and I mean, it's not such a big difference. Whether they are foreigners or whether they are Romanians, I think it depends a bit more on their style, because I had foreigners that were very classic, and they wanted a lot of decoration, and I don't know.
What is your style? What would you say? Are you more the direction of classic, and which direction they're all like more than modern?
I mean, it's very vague to use classic and modern
but
terms.
For us, that's, I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, but you imagine modern in a way, I imagine modern in another way. Or maybe you think of classic from the UK, which is a lot of... and I think more like just some paneling on the walls. It doesn't mean that we need to have like all the shebang. And... as for my style, I don't know. I think I can fall more into the minimalistic.
I can tell by your dress sense as well. You have like the nude colors and stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not able to do that all the time. I try to be more on that side, like with a touch of classic, let's say. Like,
how does your apartment or house then looks? That I mean, that should describe what you like.
I think my apartment looks cozy. First of all,
you're gonna say cold.
No.
Just a white room.
No, but I when I wanted to do a house with again, I'm talking about boyfriends. With a boyfriend,
Cristina.
He said, you are not gonna do our house because you are gonna do it like a museum. You have to hire someone else.
But what does it mean, the museum?
Because
then
it's
I think
like cold, minimalistic.
Oh, okay.
I like the modern art museums. Kind of. Okay.
Like nothing, just concrete and white walls. So he was afraid that I was gonna do that.
Yeah. So actually, because that was my next question, that means that you also, I mean, Bucharest is a pretty interesting city, I guess, for architects
Yeah, I
because
think it's
something different.
what's the word? Eclectic.
Wow.
Eclectic is the word in which you mixed a lot of styles. So yeah, you can see like the Turkish influence. You can see Russian influence. You can see Western influence.
Even for interior design, I would say for interior design
Germany.
even more.
Yeah, I mean, this is very easily changed as the trends go. So I feel like it's very, I mean, but you can see it in our language actually in Romanian language we have Turkish words, we have a lot of Slavic words, we have a lot of French words. So yeah, I feel like that's the definition of our style as well in interior and architecture, because I had clients that want like that decorated facade with corners, with 3D models, with frames around the windows.
Yeah, like Baroque or what?
Yeah, let's say Baroque. Baroque, it's more like with leaves and stuff, but also with the geometric. You saw maybe on Calea Victoria is full of lines on the facade with corners that go around, or maybe they are a bit more 3D. The frames around the, I don't know how it's called in English. The encadramente besides the windows.
Windowsill.
Yeah, probably.
No,
Is it?
I think it's meant outside when you see the window.
Yeah,
it's
outside.
Like 3D. It's like this one when they have it in the rooms in the inside.
Yeah, that's corniche inside.
Corniche, okay.
Yeah, and we use also corniche on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't remember. I think it's something like so. I don't remember. Let's pass by.
I want to know what's your, apart from your own home, because I know that's what you're gonna say. What's your favorite project that you've worked on? Let's say architectural wise.
I mean, every project that I did, it's very hard to choose. I don't know what I really enjoy doing restaurants, for example.
Okay, is that what you mainly do?
No, I do residential, I think, mainly, but I did some restaurants as well, and I really like that it's a bit more rewarding in terms of people that enter
and see
that space and
appreciate
see
it. Yeah.
and you can get more reviews. I did some medical clinics, like aesthetic clinics.
Nice white walls.
No, actually no, very decorated. But I mean, I like to play a bit with materials, and I am really in love with marble, and I like to mix it with a lot of other materials, and to, of course, to lift some stuff like very simple. But it's a nice contradiction to have like some elements that are a bit more maybe mid-century, more like that. If you think about Milan buildings, let's say, or interiors that are a bit mixed with classical, that those old buildings, but with some designish chairs or some designish sofa.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, some pieces that are a bit more spectacular, you know?
Yeah.
Like restorative kind of work. But modern.
I meant designer
like
pieces.
Modern,
with clean lines.
Okay.
But then you have decoration on the ceiling or on the walls.
Like what I like when they, for example, have like the, I don't know the terms in English, but like the old classy housing with like 3 meter high these, and then you have like a modern art lamp
exactly
hanging inside the the
Or
walls
like
have the decoration, or you have a crazy empty room.
Yeah,
the
when
old
you-
wooden floor and then a modern sofa with metal, aluminum legs. and
like
stuff.
the very modern and new materials.
Yeah.
Let's say I saw a lot of old buildings with all the decoration on the ceiling and all on the walls, but then you have like a reinterpretation of a chandelier, let's say, which is very minimalistic, just like a wire that draws the shape of a
Crystal.
chandelier with all the arms and stuff, but it's just like wire. So I don't know. See what I'm telling
I
you.
do understand.
It's better to show you images,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's very hard to
Explain,
to explain in words everything, but I think that's more my style. Let's say I like to mix materials and to mix styles, but sometimes I feel clients want too much of mixing. I would keep
marble and wood. Could
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah, I did a clinic with the reception. It's marble and wood, and in between I put like a strip of brass.
When you go and you do these restaurants, how much % off do they give you on the food?
On the food.
Nothing. Zero.
I mean, there are some clients that would give you food for free.
Yeah.
Lifetime.
Lifetime. Oh, when you meet
Whenever
with
you
them,
come,
actually. Yeah. But when you don't, I mean, when the owner is not there, they charge you as
Normally.
normal as everyone
The
else.
owner's not here, so
Yeah. No, but I have a client that I really enjoy working with, and we did a beach at the seaside together.
guys made a beach.
Yeah. Like a restaurant on the beach with all the entrance of the because it was a private beach, and you can also have a restaurant there. You can have a meal there, and you can rent sunbeds. So we did like showers area.
Constanza, where?
Yeah, Mamaia,
Oh, la,
which
la.
is almost the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did a beach together, and then we did a restaurant together. I did like 3 or 4 of his apartments. So I know his style. I know the way we work together. So I really enjoy working with him because it's easier when you know the person and he knows you, and it's not such a big pressure when you know what's coming, you know.
And generally, do you take the project from an architectural standpoint, and then also once it's erected, do the interior design?
Yeah, I did that as well, but a lot of people come because as I told you, I don't know. I did in the past years, I think I did more interior, and now everyone that sees my work, like recent work, because I tend to promote a bit more the recent projects. They come for interiors. So, and also the guys that do only architecture, they have lower prices than me for architecture, I mean, because I mean they know the drill a bit more, and they do a lot of projects,
So they can afford to be cheaper.
so yeah, I mean they copy paste a lot, or they I mean I don't want to be a hater with people that are doing architecture, but most of them, they are not so creative. They are more technical or more law oriented. Like they know the laws very well. They know what is new and what is changed in the laws. They know what is the deal in the mayor's office in the first district. They know what's the deal. And I'm not so up to date with everything. And for me, it's much more effort to start researching and stuff like that. But I feel that I am more creative in the concept part.
Okay.
I mean, when I see projects, I always feel I can do better, of course.
Yeah.
And I had a client that I did a restaurant for a few years ago, and he came this year and asked me to do like touristic complex in the mountains. And then when I gave him my price offer, he told me that he found someone local, that it's cheaper and knows people in the mayor's office and know what is the deal there, because it's very important to know what are the requirements.
I think that's where
usually
it's going.
Mayor's office, they are, in terms of urbanistic requirements, they are kind of state in state, let's say, so they can really their requirements may be very different from the others mayors of. So it's very hard to know what is the papers that you have to handle, to hand out, because some mayor's office, they require to have, let's say, demolition project separately than the construction project. Some of them, they want to put them together, or I don't know, stuff like that, like little stuff. But when the client comes back with the file and says, Cristina, you didn't know this. Yeah, I didn't know it, because it's very different from in Bucharest. It's very different from one district to another.
Yeah,
and so on in other places.
I thought it's so different. I thought like this is not so much the work of the architect. I just thought you design. Of course, you can't design something that doesn't work.
Yeah, but some clients expect you to know all this kind of stuff, and I mean, my policy is I do the file and do the drawings, and I will give it to you, and you go and submit it to the mayor's office. But some clients want me to do it. They say, I don't have time for this. I mean, I don't have time to go to just stay in line, or I don't know, stuff like that. So it's better for me to start working with someone that does only permits.
Yes.
Some people do only that, and I can only draw, and they can consult if something is not done properly. And a lot of clients come to our office just to do interior after they have the project. Also, I have some guys that just called me last week, and they said, we have the file submitted, but we want you to do the interior. So it's better for me. So, I mean, I don't feel the need to go to the mayor's office to do
all the legal stuff.
I mean,
yeah, it's annoying. I think in every job it's annoying.
I think last time I did because for the drawings, you have to have like a written description of the project, or a lot of written parts when you submit the file. So I remember that last time it took me like 1 day, only 1 day, to write that piece of paper, like a description. So it's better to, I mean, I feel so much more fulfilled when I do creative stuff than writing.
One last question before we end the podcast. Which city, just briefly, which city is your favorite one architecture-wise?
In Romania?
No. In the whole
okay.
world.
In the world.
Or maybe we say Romania. That's more interesting.
In Romania. I like Cluj a lot.
I was gonna say as well.
Yeah, I like it. I like the design as well. I like the architecture. I like the people.
What kind of design is it in Cluj, or what epoch? Or there's this one street also which is.
I mean, the architecture, the facade, it's pretty classic.
They also have this one street. I don't know if you know. You maybe know. There's one street which is perfectly mirrored. So when you walk in the street, the left and the right is just mirrored.
Yes.
Yeah. When we had been there,
I didn't notice.
Yeah, you have to check.
Actually,
it's
I've been to Cluj, I think, 3 times or 4 times, and most of them were during what's the festival there? Not Untold, the other one.
It is Untold.
It is Untold, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, the other one. It's called the castle. I don't know.
I don't know this. I knew Untold.
It was with the mud. Have you been in Romania when the festival with the mud?
No. In Cluj or next to Cluj?
Right next to Cluj.
Okay.
But I don't remember the name of the festival.
Yeah,
check it out.
Electric Castle. Electric Castle.
Yeah, then we will also maybe next time keep our eyes.
It was always raining. I went there like 2 years in a row, and it was raining. We had boots and stuff, but the boot was
Stucking, they get stuck.
Yeah, you couldn't walk. It was very hard to walk.
Perfect. Okay.
It's been a great podcast.
We've
learned a lot about
I
interior
hope
design.
it was interesting for you guys and for the people that are watching you.
Yeah.
I feel like I was just warming up.
I mean, we could have chatted for days, and maybe there's a second episode coming. But thank you so much for joining. And for everybody at home who is looking for an architect or maybe an interior designer to accompany the architect you've chosen, Cristina's links are down below.
Okay,
so
thanks.
They can find you on there. Hit her up. She does amazing work. You can see her Instagram and everything as well. Fantastic.
Yes. And for everyone tuning in from our second channel, the Romaniac Show, don't forget to give the video a like and also subscribe if you want to not miss out on further guests. And besides that, also give you a review on all the audio apps, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, and so on. That was us with the 13th episode. See you guys.
And ciao.